Well, this wasn't on my bingo card for today, guys. Holy smokes, man. Trump said the Iran ceasefire is over, and I'm sure, as you guys can imagine, stocks are selling off. Oil's going through the roof. Bitcoin, gold, silver, they're dumping. And we have the VIX going nuts. So, guys, we have a lot to cover, from stocks to what's going on in the Middle East and overall how I'm trading around this scenario, right? So, guys, hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe. Join my Patreon if you want to keep up with my actual trades, portfolio updates, and if you want to be a part of my private Discord, it's all on Patreon, guys. Link down below, pinned in the comments, or go to stocks-surfest.com/Patreon. And with that being said, cheers, take a sip of your coffee, and let's dive into it. So we're down across the board. The Qs are down over 0.9%, S&P's down roughly the same, Dow's down over 1.4%, and the Russell is leading the losses, down 1.5%, as silver's down over 5.5%. Now silver's down over 50% from all-time highs. Gold's down, let's see, where the heck's gold? It's at about 4,000 an ounce, holding on by a thread, down 3% on the day. Bitcoin's down 3.5%, and we have oil, both Brent and WTI, up 7% each. Brent is now at $80 a barrel again, and WTI is at 75, as the VIX is up 12, almost 13%, trading at about 18 points. So guys, down across the board. Oil, for obvious reasons, is spiking. Equities are down, silver, Bitcoin, you name it, everything, right? It's one of those days, and it makes sense, as this ceasefire that we had for a couple weeks, the MOU, that's pretty much out the window now. Let me actually pull up this article, and of course, things can change. Trump can, come with a new deal in a couple of days. We've all seen this happen before, but as of now, the market is reacting poorly after this news, which again makes sense after, again, we got news. Trump said the Iran ceasefire is over. There's been back and forth, and we're going to cover that quickly in this video and talk about overall stocks I'm looking at, where my head's at, and what I'm doing in the market right now. So President Trump said on Wednesday that the ceasefire with Iran is over and threatened more military action. So it's not just that the ceasefire is over, is what we're hearing, right? It's what we're hearing. But on top of that, the U.S. is threatening more military action. So things are going to get more uncertain. They already are. And the escalation, things are going to escalate, potentially. Things are going to get heightened here after the two sides clashed overnight. A lot of back and forth here, guys. And during a joint news conference with NATO, Chief Mark Rutte at the Military Alliances Summit in Turkey said Trump said, "I think it's over," in response to a reporter's question. He said, "I don't want to deal with them anymore. As far as I'm concerned, it is over," right? So we're hearing this right now, and of course, things can happen, things can change, but this is spooking the market. Trump said, "I'll give him a little warning," right? We can see here, we're going to hit them hard tonight, but we'll see how it all works out. U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, who also was attending this meeting, confirmed that tonight, quote, "Tonight, if we need to, on your order, Mr. President, we will hit even more and even deeper into Iran." Trump added that the U.S. may also reimpose its naval blockade against Iranian ports near the Strait of Hormuz, the vital oil route that obviously we all know has been the flashpoint for the latest hostilities. Let me come down here a little bit more. The U.S. military conducted a series of powerful strikes against Iran in retaliation for 3 commercial vessels transiting the Strait of Hormuz coming under attack yesterday on Tuesday, right? And meanwhile, the U.S. Department of Treasury, or the Treasury Department, withdrew a waiver that had allowed Iran to sell its oil. And again, oil, because of this, is going up, both Brent and WTI, and Brent, obviously, on the global scale, is more important. And Look at this. The Central Command said on Twitter, the Central Command said the United States forces hit more than 80 targets. And I just realized I called it Twitter. I'm still calling it Twitter, guys. It's X. But they said on X, the U.S. forces hit more than 80 targets, including air defense systems, command and control networks, as well as anti-ship missile capabilities, and it added more than 60 Revolutionary Guard small boats were hit to degrade Iran's ability to attack international commerce. So the U.S. strikes are in response to Iranian attacks on 3 commercial vessels that were transiting the strait, like I said before, and Iran's demonstrated aggression was unwarranted, dangerous, and a clear violation of the ceasefire. So clearly we're positioning it as Iran broke the ceasefire. We're going back and forth. The MOU is out the window for now, guys, and people are freaking out. But guess what? I'm not. Newsflash, I'm not freaking out, guys. In terms of the stock market here, a lot's been going on over the past couple of weeks and years, quite frankly. This is not going to scare me out of my positions. I mean, at this point, man, if you've been in the market for the last 5 years at least, you've seen the COVID crash, you've seen the 2022 crash, you've seen a lot go on, right? Liberation Day, the crash earlier this year. This shouldn't really spook you out of the market. If we've learned anything, guys, over the last couple of years, when there's heightened fear, when there's heightened volatility, when the fear-greed index is tipping fear, it's time to either do nothing, right? Don't panic sell, or if you have cash on the sidelines, nibble some of your core positions, right? If you want to. Or again, do nothing. Now's the best time to literally do what I just said. Nothing, add to your position, or just hold on to cash. That is the best thing to do in these environments, right? And that's kind of what I was talking about on Patreon in the Discord. Yesterday, earlier today, we're due for some volatility. We're getting it. Don't freak out. Now's not the time to sell everything, in my opinion. Typically during geopolitical conflict, I'm sure you guys know if you've been studying the stock market, it passes, right? And that's actually a great time to buy stocks. And I was saying this back in April when this all started to get really ugly, right? We saw the conflict pop off, end of February, early March. Stocks got very bad, very ugly. People were saying, panic sell, get out, the war is going to end everything, but they don't study stock market, right? The stock market and how it reacts in geopolitical tension. During tensions, it's actually a good time to buy. And we can see now, with the benefit of hindsight, the market did come back in a big way. S&P, the Qs, and I suspect, if this sells off even more, which honestly, I don't think it's going to sell off much more on this news. I got to be honest, man. I think the market is mostly immune to what's going on in the Middle East, even if things are escalating. I don't think it's going to cause a massive dump like it did a couple months ago, but even if it trickles down a little bit more, which it could, right? I think it's a buy. I think it's a simple buy the dip opportunity, and this too shall pass. Eventually, the conflict's going to be done. Eventually, we're going to get a deal. I don't know when, but I'm sure not getting scared out of my positions due to what's going on thousands of miles away, right? And I know oil's going up. It might, affect inflation. It might cause the Fed to hike rates. Who knows, right? It might, but I'm still keeping my money invested, and it all comes down to, is it a long-term position? Are you in long-term positions right now? Are you in strong companies? Do you have a cash position? Do you have a well-rounded portfolio? If you do, you're going to be fine, But if you're in, let's say, call options that expire in a month, you have a bunch of leverage in your portfolio, you're doing a bunch of crazy trades. Okay, maybe you can't sleep at night. Maybe you should, sell some things, move some things around. But if you're in long-term stocks, strong companies, no leverage, you have a cash position, you have an emergency fund, you're low on debt, or no debt preferably, you're gonna be fine, man. You're gonna ride through the storm, and it's not that big of a deal. It's not the end of the world when it comes to the stock market, And there are a lot of stocks selling off today. A lot of these software names, Palantir's down. We have Toast, ServiceNow. A lot of these are taking a beat down. Robinhood's back down under $110. Tesla's down under $400. Which I've been talking about Tesla, I think each time. It seems like every time Tesla gets to over 400, it gets rejected. Now we're back under 400. It happened again, guys. But yeah, I mean, look, for me, guys, at this point, I'm not doing anything. I haven't done anything today. I bought some more GLW yesterday at about 178, 179. Now it's at 181, so I'm holding on to that. Other stocks I'm very eager to buy here, but I'm waiting on are stocks like Lam Research, right? Which it's rebounding, or at least it did earlier. Lam Research, yeah, it's holding 325, but I'm waiting, man. Tomorrow's gonna come. We'll see how the market plays out throughout the day. But the moral of the story is, guys, don't panic sell. Now's the time to just sit on your hands, do nothing, or start nibbling into stocks that you want to hold, that you like. And it's not like every stock is down. I own some Redwire via call options. That one's up on the day. Nvidia somehow, some way is up on the day, right? Can you imagine that? Nvidia's up. Obviously, XLE is up, which is an energy ETF. This might have some legs to it. Honestly, guys, XLE could be running towards the top of the channel here potentially, 58, 59, maybe $60. So keep your eyes on all these different stocks and ETFs. And this really, the point of the video is, just don't freak out, man. This too shall pass. We all know this is a market where each day we have a different headline. And who knows, by the end of this week, by next week, we could have another agreement. Who the heck knows, right? In fact, that's probably going to happen. If you guys have judged history, if we're, seeing the patterns here, I feel like they're going to come to another agreement fairly soon here. It's inevitable, guys. It's inevitable. So what do you think? And by the way, midterms are coming up. Don't you think Trump wants a deal before midterms? He wants to keep oil down. He wants to keep things kind of calm. So yeah, things got a bit crazy overnight, the back and forth, the last couple of days, 24, 48 hours. But don't you think he wants to calm things down? And then the real question is, what happens after the midterms, right? If Trump wins the midterms, or even if he loses, right? Either way, he's going to try his best to put on the best front before the midterms, right? He wants oil to come down, inflation to come down, stocks to go up. The best question now is, what happens after the midterms? The Iran conflict potentially could get worse then, because midterms would be in their rearview mirror, and then we have another 2 years to go in Trump's term. But yeah, man, it's an interesting time, needless to say, and I'm excited about it in the market, and we'll see how things play out. What do you guys think? Follow along for more. Hit that like button, subscribe, and join my Patreon if you want to keep up with my actual portfolio updates, trades, investments, and if you want to be a part of my private Discord, all that's linked down below, pinned in the comments, or go to StockSurfS.com/Patreon. And with that being said, cheers. I'll see you guys in the Patreon or in the next video. Peace out.